everyone's day is off to an amazing start. Thanks so much for stopping in today, guys. Today, we are going to be talking about my 5 tips, guys, for making your kitchen a little bit more organized as we approach this year's holiday season. All right. If you have little kids in the house, your holiday season may be getting ready to start next month. If you guys are into Halloween, Halloween parties are really big here in my area. All right, and then of course we have Christmas and Thanksgiving, or shall I say Thanksgiving and Christmas quickly approaching as well. So I want to give you my tips for making sure your kitchen is as organized as possible. If you're going to be doing a lot of baking, if you're going to be having a little, little parties here and there throughout these next couple of months, it will behoove you to make sure that your kitchen is as organized as possible. That will absolutely keep your stress levels low. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with tip number 1. All right, guys, so tip number 1 is going to be minimize clutter on your countertops and your larger food prep surfaces. If you're like me, you love to visit model homes. Even though we have a nice home here, I like to think of it as really nice. But I always love whenever Eric and I are in new neighborhoods, whether it be in Atlanta or some other city that we are traveling in. If we see a new neighborhood and they have a model home, we love to go inside of the model homes. And if you're like me, when you go into these model homes, you will find that the kitchens, they really don't have a lot of items on the countertops. And I really think that that is because they want you to see just how vast, how large the kitchen is. You guys know that if you've ever purchased a home, if you are looking into buying a home, you guys know that the kitchen and the bathroom, especially the master bath, those are the rooms that really sell a home. So when you go into your model homes, the kitchen is just like I said, pretty much free of clutter. So what I like to do is keep, again, my countertops pretty much clear of clutter. I know that a lot of us like to display our gorgeous cookbooks. And while the cookbooks that we are purchasing these days, guys, have fabulous colors, really nice, glossy, pretty pictures, if you are like me, you tend to, accumulate cookbooks, and just having them out on the counters, guys, they will eventually take up a lot of space, especially when you add some of the other things that you have on your countertops. And when you are planning parties, planning gatherings for the upcoming holiday season, every little bit of space counts, okay? So what I like to do is, when I'm not using my cookbooks, I have a cabinet right over here, and I store my cookbooks and other little smaller party items here in this cabinet. And so I have my cookbooks in this particular basket here. And so when I am getting ready to, plan my grocery list or make my grocery list, meal prep for the week, I just grab this basket, have a seat over there at the table, or sit right here at the island, thumb through my cookbooks, find some of the recipes that, Eric Chase and I like. I love this cookbook right here, Instant Cook. I think this came with one of my little crock pots, but anyway, it has really pretty pictures, really nice recipes in here. But can you imagine having this book out with a few of the other cookbooks that I have here? And then I have, not sure if you guys can see, but I have 2 more cookbooks right there. So after a while, guys, these cookbooks, they would tend to take up a little bit more space than I am willing to share in my kitchen. So again, after I am finished using my cookbook, I just put my basket back there and close the cabinet, and it's really neat, and I'm not using up space on my countertop with cookbooks. And now, I'm not saying you can't have any cookbooks out. Your kitchen will still be organized and neat if you have one cookbook out. But again, when you have multiple cookbooks, just placing your cookbooks here in a basket and then storing that basket in an empty cabinet if you have one is a really good idea. So right now we are over here at my coffee station. I am no way in any shape or form getting ready to tell you to get rid of the coffee maker. Absolutely not. What I am going to suggest, this tip, we're still on tip number 1. This goes right along with freeing up space on your countertop. So what I am going to suggest is placing your Keurig, your coffee maker, inside of a tray. And so in doing that, when you are preparing to entertain and you're finding that you're going to need a little bit more counter space for your, let's say, dessert station or your drink area, you can just pick up the entire tray, as I'm doing here, and maybe stick it in the pantry, stick it in the basement, stick it underneath one of your larger cabinets. Stick it anywhere so that it's not taking up, you know, that valuable needed space in the kitchen for when you are attempting to get ready and host those upcoming holiday parties. So putting your cookbooks in the cabinet, you know, maybe have out maybe one, but you know, having a whole countertop stacked with cookbooks, I probably would not do that. And then again, placing your coffee maker on a tray so that if you need that space, you can easily just pick it up and relocate it. And in doing that, you are able to keep your countertops pretty much clutter free. All right guys, so tip number 2 for making sure that you have your home as organized as possible as we get ready for the upcoming holiday season is to get your drop zone area in order. All right, so right here guys, this is our drop zone area of the kitchen. It's like a little desk area here in the kitchen, and when we come in from outside, from, you know, being in the car or going for a run or a walk or whatever, everything gets dropped right here. Keys, mail, whatever, it goes right here. So what I try to do is make sure this is absolutely free of any clutter. This right here is a perfect area when I am entertaining to have as the area where I put all of my flatware, my dishware, cups, napkins, and things like that. And then my guests kind of work their way around over here to the other side of the kitchen and help themselves to food. So I make sure during the holiday season that this little area right here is free of clutter and mail and things like that. So what I have decided to do with the 2 drawers that are right beneath this particular area of the countertop is utilize this space as our junk drawer. And guys, even though I am calling this a junk drawer, these 2 drawers are junk drawers here in the house, it is all stuff that we need, all right? But the key to having a junk drawer is making sure there are items in here that you absolutely need. You don't want to have old things in here taking up much needed space, because look, we only have these 2 drawers. So again, everything in here are items that we absolutely need. Some things that you probably have in your junk drawer or your drop zone area that you can probably go through and get rid of before we get ready to start entertaining. Old coupons, all right? How many of us collect coupons? We do here in this house. But a lot of times when you are using your coupons, you will skip past things that you know, coupons that you're not going to use. You're thinking, well, you know, I don't need it this week. Next week, I'll come back and pick it up. But sometimes we don't do that. And then in doing that, those coupons do expire. So you want to make sure that you are regularly going through your coupons and making sure they are actually coupons that you can use and that you are going to use. But other things that we have here in the junk drawer, you know, our flashlight, this is absolutely a must. For whatever reason, the area that I live in, the power, if we get a light rain, the lights go out. So we keep a flashlight, thanks to the property brother, on every floor. Right along with that flashlight, we have some matches. We have scissors over here, you know, an extra extension cord. Because this is like a little desk area, we have a stapler. a staple gun, have staplers to go along with that. And just in this little folder here, we like to keep the numbers of, you know, electricians, plumbers, things like that. This is always really handy and neat, you know, to get a hold of when you are looking for those, you know, those guys that are going to come in and save your house from flooding. You want to have those numbers quick and easy. Easily accessible. So again, this is the junk drawer. These are things that I think if you walk into anyone's home, you probably see them up on the counter. Well, maybe not the flashlight, but you might have the occasion of walking into someone's home and then there's a notepad or some ink pens, you know, or something like that up on the counter. But you know, as we get ready to entertain here really soon, you want to make sure all of those items are put away so that you can have that space up here on top of the counter to, like I said, like if you're like me, the initial area of the kitchen is going to be for my plates and my cups and my napkins and things like that. So I don't need anything up here taking up any extra space. So tip number 2, that was really long-winded. Tip number 2, clear up your drop zone area, organize your junk drawers. All right, guys, so tip number 3 is going to be make sure you don't have too many of your spices and seasonings on top of your countertops. Raise your hand if you have ever gone to a friend's house, a family member's house, and it looks like they could start their own little fresh market or grocery store, Whole Foods spice area, because they have every condiment that they own on top of the countertop. That is taking up much needed valuable prep and food storage space when it comes to entertaining. So what I suggest you do is, if you can, if you have an area in your kitchen, designate that area, a cabinet or drawer, as your little spice area. So what I have here in this particular cabinet right here is my spice drawer, okay? And I love this style of, this particular way of housing my spices, because I can come right here, everything is in a glass container. I will also suggest, you know, taking your seasonings, your spices out of the original containers and placing them in these clear glass jars. And in doing that, as we prepare for the upcoming holiday season, it's really easy to come here in your kitchen and see what spices you need to kind of go back and repurchase for your next trip to the grocery store. These particular jars I purchased at Bed Bath & Beyond. However, the Dollar Tree has some in this particular shape that are really, really cute as well. I love that they have a little handle here on them. And again, they're glass. You're able to see how much of your spice you need to, you have to go before you need to replace it. There's a little shaker here on the top. Really, really neat. And this particular jar here, this size, I also purchased from the Dollar Tree. As you can see, I have my little label here. I just printed these up on my computer. This one houses baking powder, or it's supposed to house baking powder, but as you can see, I am all out. So I'll be repurchasing that. You know, the worst thing that can happen as we go through the holiday season, or you know, one of the worst things that can happen in the kitchen, is you get ready to make, let's say, sweet potato pie, pumpkin pie, collard greens, and you don't have nutmeg or allspice or garlic powder, those spices that you need to make that recipe just really, really, you know, authentic for the season. So you have to have your spices in order, your spice drawer in order. Again, taking them off the top of your countertop, it just frees up a lot of space for you to prepare these meals, and it just looks a lot neater. You're able to get in here if you are having, you know, meals prepared in your home for the holiday season. If you're having family members come into your kitchen and help prepare meals with you, they are able to easily come to one location in your kitchen and find all of your spices. They're not looking behind some toaster. They're not looking behind the coffee maker for the salt and the black pepper. It's all housed in one spot. All right. So that is tip number 3, guys. Get your spice area in order. free up some space on your countertops. Put everything in a spice drawer or a spice cabinet if you have the room for it. If you do not have the extra room for it, I would suggest maybe going to the Dollar Tree, purchase one basket that's large enough for you to house all of your spices, and you know, maybe slide them to the side of your countertop. And when you need that space for your food prep or to lay out your food, you're able to pick that basket up and kind of just shove it in a cabinet somewhere until all the festivities are over. All right, guys, since I'm already down here on the floor sharing with you my spice drawer, my tip number 4 is going to be get all of your dish detergents and your cleaning products, get those off the top of your countertops as well. All right, you do want to leave a little hand soap on top of your countertops near the sink, but for your larger cleaning items, it is a good idea to go ahead and store those items underneath your sink. Let me see if I can maneuver here and share with you guys some of the things under my sink. All right, so it is a good idea to place the items underneath your sink, obviously in baskets, and maybe even categorize them so that, let's say you're, having guests over, and when you have a lot of people in your house, you're going to have the inevitable spill, or if you're using actual plates, you may need to kind of wash up a few while the guests are actually there. So you want to be able to easily get your hands on those cleaning products, those products that you may need to kind of spot clean and things like that. So over here, I have just a basket for my sponges. I have a basket here that houses a bunch of my little gloves. I have some different sprays for my granite and my stainless steel, appliances. All of my dish detergents are here. I love having white towels. I've mentioned this to you guys countless times. We only have white towels here in the house. That would be for our bathrooms and also here for the kitchen. And so my towels, that's going to be tip number 5, but let's stay here with tip number 4. So I have towels here right underneath the sink. You want to have towels near your water source. So I have those. I have more cleaning supplies here. This Method Daily Granite is great for your granite countertop. Of course, I have to have my Fabuloso. I have my vinegar under here. I have my dishwasher detergent. And of course, if you're going to be doing a lot of cooking, not sure if you guys can see that, you want to make sure you have your fire extinguisher here in your kitchen as well, and it needs to be in a place where you can easily get your hands on it. So tip number 4, just making sure you're having your under sink area really neat, really organized. Take all of those products off of your sinks, place them below, and make sure they are categorized and organized in a way that you can easily get to them as you start to, entertain this holiday season. Our final tip. Tip number 5 for making sure that your kitchen is as organized as possible as we get ready to welcome our guests into our home is going to be get rid of some of those towels that we have hanging around the kitchen. I have been to a few family members' houses, a few friends' houses even, where you go into their kitchen and they have towels hanging off of the refrigerator, no lie, towels hanging off of the stove, towels hanging over by the sink, towels hanging off of the oven. All right, so as you can see, we have none of that here in this particular kitchen, and I think it just makes the kitchen look a lot more airy, a lot more open. I just shared with you that I have hand towels, and listen, it's a kitchen. I know we need hand towels. You need to be able to have a dish towel to clean your hands. You're cooking, you're washing your hands, you need something to dry your hands off, and you don't want to be wasteful and use a paper towel every time. So I just shared with you that I have dish towels or hand towels underneath the sink in my cabinet there right near my water source. I actually have hand towels over here. near my food prep area or my island. I love to have hand towels here. I actually have hand towels over here in my pantry. There's actually a basket here. And I just have, you know, extra hand towels in there. All right, and I think in doing that, it just really makes your kitchen look a lot neater, okay? I guess it's okay, you know, if you just have to have a dish towel hanging, you know, over on the oven door. I guess that's okay. I do keep my little oven mitts here in my drawer also, but then, you know, here's my oven and my hand towels are, you know, right next to the oven, so I'm not having to, you know, really exert a whole lot of effort to go over and grab my dish towel. But I just think it looks so much neater when you don't have things hanging all off the appliances in your kitchen. Again, when you go to the model homes, at least the model homes that I've been into, they do not do that. And again, I think it's because they want you to see just how clean, how neat, how large the kitchen is. All right, so tip number 5, our final tip, guys, get rid of at least 3. If you have 5 dish towels hanging in your kitchen, get rid of 3 of them, okay? And you'll see what a difference it makes. Well, that is it, guys. Those are my 5 tips, all right, that I hope will help you get your kitchen a little bit more organized. As we approach this holiday season, no one wants to be stressed when we have guests on the way over. All right, so please, in the comments, let me know if you plan on trying any of these tips. Leave a comment also if there are tips that you feel that the rest of us could benefit from. All right, so please share. I love talking with you guys in the comments. And so until next time, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.